Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
A carjacking in Winchester, then a bank robbery in Lexington, and police say one suspect is connected to both.
Police are asking for help finding the person who killed a child at a Louisville park.
And surveillance video has been released from a BB gun scare on the UK campus. We'll have those stories and more. And breaking news as it happens, it's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning and good to have you with us on this Thursday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. For the first track on the weather, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're looking outside and guess what? Yes, 50s, 60s again. I mean, this is about the 8th, 9th day in a row that we've been able to say that. So it's just the same forecast over and over again, except for today. We are really going to be seeing those temperatures rise in toward the afternoon. Today's forecast sitting there right around 85 degrees. That's well above average. Another warm one in store. We head toward Friday and off toward the weekend. That's when that big blast of cold air comes in. I'll show you that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then, and we thank you. And it started with a car stolen at gunpoint outside of Walmart. Then a short time later, a bank robbed in a different city. And police think the same man pulled off both robberies.
Police later found the stolen car, but not the robber. This is a surveillance picture of the man they're now looking for. WKYT's Jerica Insko has the latest on the investigation out of Winchester and Lexington.
A carjacking, then a bank robbery, and police say one man is responsible for both. It all started in Winchester, now ending with police searching here in Lexington. It was some scary moments for a Winchester woman when police tell us she was at Walmart probably doing some shopping, but instead she was robbed at gunpoint with a man getting away in her car. As if that wasn't enough, police now say the same man in the stolen light blue Kia also went on not a shopping spree but a crime spree in Lexington.
An individual had walked into the bank, produced a note, demanded cash from the teller. Bank teller complied.
That happened at First Security Bank along Sir Barton Way just 2 hours later. And just blocks away, guess what police found? The clue that traced the Winchester carjacking and Lexington bank robbery back to the same man.
Someone at the bank gave us that tag, that vehicle description, and one of the officers in the area did a good job locating the vehicle and backed into a parking spot here in the Hamburg Shopping Center.
No one was hurt in either crime, with a gun used in the carjacking, but not in the bank robbery. But Lexington police say they want to be cautious until this man is in custody.
We're going to operate under the assumption the suspect is armed and dangerous.
As for the suspect car, that doesn't belong to him. It was towed back to its rightful owner in Winchester. Now, police are asking that you call them if you recognize the man in those surveillance photos. In Lexington, Jerica Insko, WKYT.
The suspect is described as a white man in his 50s with a goatee, wearing a baseball cap, dark clothing, and jeans.
New this morning, we now know the identity of a man who was killed in a motorcycle crash in Bourbon County. The Bourbon County coroner says 54-year-old Tim Claggett lost control of his bike last night on Thatcher's Mill Road, just outside of North Middletown. He was then struck by an oncoming car, and he died at the scene. Claggett had just recently retired as a lieutenant from the Lexington Fire Department. Happening today, a doctor charged in connection to a road rage incident on Interstate 75 will learn his sentence. Perrin Dobbins agreed to plead guilty in Madison County. Last year, David Kohler shot the video of Dobbins pointing what later was learned to be a BB gun and then firing on him on I-75. The sentencing is set for 1:30 this afternoon.
Well, police are asking for help finding the person who killed a child at a Louisville park. Police say someone found 12-year-old Ray Etheridge's body on Tuesday near a footpath in Cherokee Park. Louisville police are not saying how he died, but they do say the boy suffered some trauma. They also think the murder happened in the park and not somewhere else. Police are calling this an isolated crime. Ray was a student at a school in nearby Clark County, Indiana.
Ray was the kind of student that has a lot of ability, had a lot of ability, and certainly would have wanted to see him be as successful as possible in his life. So very, very difficult time.
Police say Ray's family is homeless. School leaders say his mother checked him out of school early on Tuesday because of transportation issues. His body was found at the park about 3 hours later. Police do not think a family member was involved in the murder.
4:35 on WKYT this morning. Surveillance video has been released from a BB gun scare on the UK campus. Through an open records request, our news partners at the Herald Leader obtained this surveillance video from UK. It shows the people who police say were involved in the incident on UK's campus Sunday night. At last check, no charges have been filed in the case. 4 UK football players were suspended for Saturday's game because of this incident. A soldier critically injured when an SUV crashed into a Lexington bar has been upgraded to serious condition. Noel Espino is a member of the Guam National Guard. Owners of the beer trap where the crash happened say they collected $4,000 in donations for Espino's family. They also say they've been told that he could be in the ICU for another month. Police say former firefighter Jared McCargo crashed his SUV into the bar while drunk.
Well, an admitted killer has received 3 life sentences for murdering 3 people in Madison County. Matthew Denholm killed Sonsere Warford and Charles Walker in 2010 and Zachary Flower the following year. He told police he'd been hired to kill Walker and Warford was in the wrong place at the wrong time. In court yesterday, he apologized to Warford's family, but they didn't accept it.
I tell you now that her death by gunshot was very quick, and she did, in fact, have the opportunity to pray prior to being shot. I know that you'll never have closure, but I hope that this knowledge may bring you some little peace.
But if I have the pencil and pen, I have to be honest with you. I would give you exactly what you gave them.
Well, despite the 3 life sentences, Denholm will still be eligible for parole after 25 years.
Well, it is a piece of Lexington history, but waste and poor maintenance once ruined it.
Now, a year and a half later, a home has a new lease on life, all thanks to some hard work. WKYT's Garrett Weimer shows us the transformation of a downtown house that could now sell for more than $1 million.
If walls could talk, what would these say?
In reality, the house probably was crying in the beginning. It was bad. It was really bad.
When Clark and 3 others bought 515 North Broadway, it had been foreclosed. The previous owner was evicted. Their items placed on the sidewalk along the road. Items that smelled of urine and covered in animal waste, all were pulled from this historic home turned hoarder house. 16 months later, this house is as good as new. Maybe even better. It was the first stop on the Bluegrass Trust for Historic Preservation tour of Fayette Park.
It's always nice to see something that looks as bad as that taken back and shown that just with a little bit of effort, maybe a lot of effort and some time, that you really can put a place back into good shape and really let it contribute to the neighborhood again. It's a transformation folks recognize and appreciate.
Now I think it's, kind of like return to glory in a sense, because it's a complete 180 on what happened.
So if walls could talk, these just might say thanks. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Beautiful home. The house was listed for sale on Tuesday with an asking price of $1.2 million.